Work is done and I'm back on a boat. No sails on this one, but that's okay. Most of the ones with sails around here don't use them. We're starting off in Bayahibe, a sleeping fishing village on the Caribbean coast of the Dominican Republic. On its own, Bayahibe is probably worth a stop. Very quiet, very relaxed. Most people come here because it's a starting point for all the excursions going to Saona Island, which is why we're here. Which is why I'm wearing this ridiculously tight PFD. We checked out East National Park from the water. It is the biggest jungle preserve in the Dominican Republic. Then we got our first opportunity to get wet near old dilapidated dock that was washed out in a hurricane. Getting a snorkel on and into the water felt great. The juvenile Atlantic spadefish were pretty cool too. There's a giant school of them underneath the old dock. But soon, we were on the move again, heading out to go find some sea turtles, hopefully, in the mangroves. It took some doing, but eventually we did see one turtle head pop out. Next, we crossed over to the island. This channel is where the Atlantic and the Caribbean meet, so it's a little choppy. The next stop was Manawan Village, a tiny little fishing village with traditional style Dominican or Caribbean buildings across it, boats strewn across the beach. We had lunch here, and I got to talk to my new friends Hannah and Mookie, who are from Israel, about sailing, their lifelong adventures, and it was great to hear their stories. After lunch, I grabbed a beer and went for a walk. They had trinkets and stuff for sale, usual tourist crap. Then a bunch of buildings that had bars that were all kind of hooked into the excursion companies, I think. But it was still pretty, and it was still nice to be there. The beach was gorgeous. White sand, perfect Caribbean blue water. A little bit of garbage around, which kind of bothered me, but I think there's a movement now amongst Dominicans to clean up a little bit. The littering was fairly common there. I guess there's not many places to put garbage. When you're on such a remote island, getting it in and out is probably expensive. But still, I wish there was more garbage cans and it was a little bit cleaner. After lunch, we got back on the boat and ripped over to Canto de la Playa, which was extremely beautiful. In fact, it made the whole trip for me. This was the part that I couldn't get past. Some of the other excursion boats were partying pretty hard. You could hear the music loudly. So I decided to walk over that way and see what it was all about. The beach itself was just absolute perfection. Because it is DR, there was definitely some things for sale, little trinkets, little stands, but it was less obtrusive than Manawan Village. I couldn't take it any longer and decided it was time to get wet again. So I hopped in the water. It was absolute perfection. A great place to swim and hang out. The party was cool, but it was weird being there by myself. So I decided to walk down to what would be, I guess, the east end of the beach. That was one of the most private swims I think I've ever experienced. Although when I did pop up and look around, I noticed it was me and maybe like two couples that were having a little private time. Sorry, guys. But soon enough, we were back on the boat. I got to see some sails on the horizon, which made me happy. It was a good day all in all. Worth the $150 I think I paid for it. But everything must come to an end at some point.